Welcome back, guys. We have the ESL One Genting closed qualifiers for South America. This is a best of 5 series. We're on game number 3, Infamous versus SG. Second game of the series went over in a very impressive use of resources for the side of SG, where they had a Tinker up against a Drow strat, and we've seen Infamous run this before, where they absolutely ran over the Tinker, but SG, they proved that they were very resilient. Tinker was able to find the farm he needed, and they were able to close out the game and take the victory. But I'm your caster, Moxie. I'm joined with Forge today as my co-caster. These have been some of, like, the most fun games of Dota, I think, that I've done in a while here. And I'm really hoping we actually go to a full 5 games, Forge.
I agree completely. I would love to see a full 5-game series out of these guys. I'm honestly not sure who's going to end up taking this. Like, both these teams are quite evenly matched. I mean, the laning phase coming up from Infamous has just been absolutely devastating, shutting down SG both of the games. But I think the team fight execution is definitely where SG has the edge. So have to see what adjustments get made by both teams as they try and take the lead in the series. So far, it's pretty much the same bans. Ogre, Elder Titan, nothing really too crazy.
The Omni Knight this time will get banned out, though, by the side of Infamous. If we do see a ban on that pesky Shadow Shaman. Infamous was running this for 2 games in a row and was causing a lot of problems, and I'm sure SG has just had enough of it. But we do see a Brewmaster pick up, so little bit of a ballsy opening here because it's pretty easy to shut down this Brewmaster and make sure he can't get the ulti off. In fact, we saw in, I think it was game number 1, where he actually picked up an Aeon Disc to ensure that he wouldn't die before he could get it off. But again, that's not usually an item you see picked up. I think we'll be seeing a little bit more of it as time goes by, especially as it's gotten a little bit cheaper. But it's a little bit of ballsy, opening up with a Brewmaster first pick.
Yeah, I think Infamous will probably grab themselves the Tusk here, and I think they're just thinking about what they want to follow up with it. Both teams pretty comfortable running with the Tusk. They are actually going to grab the Chikiro instead.
There's the Tusk.
Okay, so I wasn't wrong. The Tusk is good against the Brewmaster because you can just trap him in the cogs, the shards, makes it a little easier to kite him around, get that damage that you need into him, and Chikiro nice as well. You get that magic damage, so you don't have to worry about the missed chance. Bounty Hunter on the flip side, though, pretty interesting pick from SG. Not a hero that's common in a lot of the metas around the regions.
One might say ice is twice as nice. Yeah, no, I'm out. I'm fired. Sorry, guys. Tinker gonna get removed, though, from the hero pool. There will be no Tinker coming out for the side of SG this time around. Bounty Hunter, yeah, like you said, really interesting pick. Generally, Bounty Hunter tends to make your lanes weaker, and that's something that Infamous is very good at. They're very strong lanes generally. Maybe they're thinking that they'll be able to, poke and prod a little bit more over onto the mid lane, depending on what they pick up. But it will prove to be a little bit difficult, I think, for them laning wise with just this bounty hunter. The Drow does get banned out, though. They've seen enough of Drow. Don't want to see it again in this particular series. So I still think we're going to be seeing pretty strong push meta coming out here from the side of both of these teams, especially Infamous, because they tend to favor that very highly, especially, Jakiro pick up early on with the Liquid Fire. But there won't be a Drow this time around, so.
Yeah, no Drow, no Shadow Shaman. So, I mean, a couple of them bigger pushers coming out. I don't think we'll see any of the Morphling that we've seen lately. That 707D patch really hit him hard. The fact that you can't morph through the stuns is pretty big now. But going back to the Bounty Hunter, it is one of Theolicor's most played heroes. So I think less worried about how their laning has gone and just going back to some comfort picks. Laposa, did have a bit of a rougher game in game one of the series, but definitely still a comfort hero for him. And Theolicor, very, very comfortable on the Bounty Hunter. So just focused on playing what's comfortable for them. We saw him do a lot of good work with the Kunkka in game two, and I'm excited to see what he grabs. Or what he's able to do, in this game.
So very aggressive coming out from the side of Infamous again. We've got Jakiro, we've got the Tusk. Tusk going to be able to roam around. Seeing a lot of this hero. Seeing a lot of really awesome saves coming out as well using that snowball. But they opt to grab this Quap, which feels a little early to me. But she will be able to avoid some of that harass coming out from Bounty Hunter, being able to, of course, blink herself away from any danger. It does provide some really nice team fight with the Sonic Wave, and she is one of those mids that is able to build into tower hitting. So,
yeah, I mean, with the Quap pickup early, with the Bounty Hunter showing himself already, they're just looking to grab lanes that are tough for him to gank. They already have their support duo in the Jakiro and the Tusk, so now they're just going to look to set themselves up, make it the Bounty Hunter's life as difficult as possible. We already mentioned, Quap has that blink. It's going to be pretty tough for him to get any kind of kills unless she plays too aggressively on 4DR, and Theolicor happens to be in the area. And we might even see something like the Life Stealer that we saw from Infamous in Game 1. Katara doing a lot of work there, and pretty tough as well for the Bounty Hunter to gank that. And then it would pretty much just be up to what they want to run for Stinger in that off lane.
Yeah, that does give them a very nice vehicle in order to get into these fights, whether it's being tucked into Tusk or having the Queen of Pain doing the initiation. Really strong initiation, too, coming out from the side of Infamous, which I like. Not sure what SG is going to pick up here. Usually you depend on something like the Panda being able to get split off. They pick up the Lion, though. Okay, this is a hero we haven't seen at all yet today. That's going to provide some solid lockdown with the Earth Spike, the Hex, and then, of course, big mighty nuke trying to take down the enemies with the Finger of Death. So pretty interesting.
If you can get a decent timing on the Blink Dagger, which will get helped out by the track gold from the Bounty Hunter, if you can get a decent timing on that, then this Quap's life becomes a lot harder because you always have that Blink Hex that you have to be worried about. She'll have to build herself into a pretty early Lincoln Sphere, maybe like second or third item, just so she doesn't have to worry about that. And even then, when she has the Lincolns, it's going to be scary for her because she does have you do have the track that can very quickly pop it, and Blink Hex is just always scary to deal with. They are going to grab the Luna though. Pretty going back to that push draft that we see Infamous prefer, and still a very strong laner against the Bounty Hunter. Can get chased down a little bit, especially with the Brewmaster there. You have the Thunderclap and the Janata Slow, but can dish out a lot of damage back in return.
Well, the nice thing too about the Luna is that she likes to build the BKB. She doesn't want to go for an early one, obviously, but she is one of those cores that will be able to pick it up, and then Lion won't be so much of a factor with that lockdown. That Lion's going to have to be careful that he doesn't become one of the targets early on to get picked off by the Quap or the Tusk.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a scary game for the Lion, but the Lion does give them SG some nice ways to deal with the Luna push, because you can very quickly clear out the illusions with a Hex and a Mana Drain, or figure out the real one if you happen to catch that out. So they do SG, I don't think quite scared of the Luna just yet. Gonna have to see what they grab for 40R on the Queen of Pain. I would normally say the Puck, but Puck has been banned out, so 40R are gonna have to look towards something else. Maybe the Tinker again does lane pretty nicely against the Quap.
Well, they can't. Tinker's already been banned out.
Tinker has been banned.
Yep, they don't want any more
devastated.
Tinker after that last game with all the lasers flying around and causing that mischance. Just too much of a headache for them this game. So he was banned out. I mean, there's still... I was about to say, I mean, the Lifestealer seems like a pretty solid choice for the side of SG. They don't really have the best vehicles. Well, no, that's a lie. That's a lie. You've got a Brewmaster who's going to get a blink. You've got a Bounty Hunter who's going to be creeping around. And if he finds that Luna in the jungle, that is a very scary surprise for that cat lady. So...
Yeah, the other hero that I mean, it's a little bit risky playing into the Quab, but would scale nicely into both the Tusk and the Jakiro might be the Storm Spirit for 40R. It's a comfort pick for him, and they don't have a crazy amount of lockdown. It's like snowball into Ice Path, really. I mean, Quap's going to grab herself an Orchid maybe, but we could see the 40R Storm Spirit come out. Would be a nice vehicle for the Lifestealer, would get accelerated greatly by the Bounty Hunter, but Infamous are going to have the same train of thought and ban that out.
Definitely a smart call. Like you said, the lockdown's just not quite there for the side of Infamous. They'd struggle pretty badly with dealing with the Storm Spirit until he could possibly pick up, like an Orchid on the Queen of Pain, and even by that point he might have a Lincoln's or something to that effect. So, been taken out, removed here. Still looking on the side of SG for what Infamous is going to want to pick up for their off lane. Trying to think what would just work really well for them. They take out the Enigma.
They're going to ban out the Enigma.
That's always a safe bet with Infamous. Take out the Enigma.
Yeah, they just need something that can lane kind of nicely up against the Lifestealer. Something like the Doom might not be terrible. There is a lot of... I mean, it's a little bit scary into the Lifestealer, but the Infernal Blade Harass is very, very good. It gives you a good answer to the Brewmaster, as well as making sure that the Rage TP might not be there.
It's happening, Forge. You were saying this yesterday, how you really, really wanted to see an Invoker, especially a South American style Invoker, and we're gonna get it today.
Yeah, this is also a huge comfort pick for 40, one of his most played heroes. So it's a little bit scary playing that into the Queen of Pain, because she does have the nice base damage advantage. The harass is going to be huge, but 40R says he's not scared. He's going to play into it. He's going to have the Bounty Hunter helping out as well, and I'm really looking forward to see what he gets done on here. And now I think the Doom is a pretty big pickup for Infamous, just canceling out that Invoker. Lane's okay against the Lifestealer. The low armor is a little bit scary, but the Infernal Blade harass is just so huge against the melee strength cores.
They could also go for something like a Tide Hunter if they want to go for full-on team fight, something very tanky that'll be able to stay alive in lane as well. That's something that we've seen the popularity coming back up with.
Yeah, Tide could work really well. Lion would have a very difficult time zoning that out. And it's
go for Night Stalker. Okay, that's someone that was consistently banned early on, so very, very interesting. That'll put a lot of pressure over onto the side of SG early on. Once that first Night Cycle comes out, he's got a nice long silence, which is very, very nice against the Invoker. But the gank potential coming out from SG is so strong right now, with the Bounty Hunter scouting around with a Lifestealer bomb in him, followed up with a Sunstrike. It should result into a dead hero almost every time.
Yeah, the early game, I think, is definitely Infamous favored. The Tusk is going to cause a lot of problems for the Invoker. The Shards block is going to be huge against him. Night Stalker as well, roaming around. But I think once we get into like the mid game, once the track comes online, the Primal Split, SG has just such crazy amounts of lockdown for the Queen of Pain. They've got lots of burst damage as well. And I mean, Invoker is just king of the team fights. So I'm liking the
Feeling
SG
that
draft.
bias towards that Invoker. You're really excited.
I'm an Invoker spammer, so this is great. This is lovely watching. And I mean, Infamous, they do have a really scary early game, so it's going to be up to SG to protect their Invoker. He has a very weak laning phase, already a bad matchup against the Queen of Pain, so they're going to have to protect him pretty heavily. But if they can survive and kind of break even on at least one or two of their lanes, then I think they're going to have a bit of a draft advantage here.
All right, well, we're going to head into game number 3, guys. So who do you think's who's going to take this? Who are you liking right now, Forge?
I think it's going to come down a lot to the roaming. I mean, Bounty Hunter is a snowball hero in like the truest sense. Like Tusk, he needs a lot of momentum. He needs a lot of early game stuff, but he can still be viable if he doesn't get those, right? Snowball save is always going to be good. The shards trap is always going to be good. Bounty hunter, on the other hand, like he needs those early kills. He needs that XP. If he doesn't get the level 6 at a decent timing, then he's not really that great of a hero. So I think it's going to be a lot on Theolacor to get things done, but it is a comfort pick for him. So I'm going to go with SG for this.
Alrighty, so apologies guys, again, we actually don't have a ticket for ESL Genting, so names are a little bit weird, and I'm gonna have to just, you know, throw up the names on top of the screen near the hero portraits. That's the best we can do, unfortunately. But, alright, get some taunting coming out here from the side of the Lion.
And Tusk already starts with the dust right away. If he spots the Bounty Hunter, actually Bounty Hunter will just die. The Shards Trap plus the dust does mean that Bounty Hunter pretty much can't get away. So if Tusk, he's going to have to be a little bit careful, because if Tusk finds him, the Bounty Hunter is pretty much dead. What
is going down here? All right, so Fog of War here. We've got a panda and a cat lady standing right next to each other, and they have no idea. So Leposa hiding out here in the trees. Luna does not manage to see him. And Invoker will move himself forward and be able to get that bounty rune.
Oh, they find the Bounty Hunter, though. This is going to be first blood.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to get himself away, especially with that dust. There's just too many people wailing away on this poor little cat. One more hit, and they'll let Quap have a nice start to her mid lane.
That's a scary proposition. He does snag the rune, so it's not completely useless, but unfortunately
that's a nice start, because this is already a favored matchup towards Quap anyways. And of course Tusk has made his way over. The harass coming out from Lion maybe not as good as, you know, seeing something like a Bane or quite possibly, you know, the Ogre Magi. I believe that was banned out. Top lane though, looks like Night Stalker already running into some issues. A lot of harass coming out here from this bounty hunter, and of course the open wound slowing him down quite a bit on top of that. But seems like he's got quite a few tangos left over. He should be just fine. Bottom lane, a lot of just harass coming out onto poor Leposa here.
Yeah, he's fine though. He's got 8 tangos left. I mean, the dual breath is going to be very annoying, but he's going to get his levels. There's not really too much they can do about it just yet. And I mean, Luna's, I think, going to be able to farm pretty well in this lane as long as the supports stick around. Anytime they leave, though, she's going to have a tough time just because of the Drunken Haste.
Night Stalker just trying to get whatever he can out of here. Unfortunately, he's just a little bit too far forward. Does have a TP, but I don't think he's going to be able to get out from this. We'll try to juke himself around. The Lion getting off that Earth Spike here. Still just running around trying to make sure that he's not hitting creeps. He's leading him on a merry chase. No boots on this guy just quite yet. And he's just, look at this ridiculousness. Does right behind the other tower. Still running. Goes ahead. Eats himself a tree. Pops himself a wand as well. And he is getting regen from that wand. Don't forget. We'll be able to drag these creeps along with him. This is just absolutely ridiculous. This is some Benny Hill music right now. Still going. Still going. He's gonna TP. Can he get out in time? No. Earth Spike. That's a dead Night Stalker, but that was quite the chase there.
I'm really glad that Lifestealer Costabile was just like, you guys deal with it. I'll just go back to my lane, because I think
that's a smart move. Yeah, he was being dragged along on a wild goose chase.
Yeah. Mid lane though, Invoker's just having such a tough time. He's gonna get gone on actually.
They jump back in. Yeah. He thought he was safe. He had gotten that Forged Spirit out. Quap wasn't making anything too aggressive over onto him, but I don't think he realized that the Tusk was making the rotation. Yeah, interesting that there's no... Oh, yeah, there is. Never mind. I was about to say there's no Sentry Ward over here, but yep, there's a Sentry Ward placed over on the high ground here for Radiant. The jump forward immediately from Quap. She's got the Arcane Rune. She wants to make sure that she's using it. Big shards coming in as well. Creeps are pushed up on tower, but there's not a lot of mana over here on Quap. And in fact, they're going to see that TP coming out. She's got Blink. We'll just be able to run away. And that Sunstrike not going to connect over onto Tusk. We see the rotation coming out from a Lion to try to help secure the farm.
He's trying to get the courier. Oh, he gets it! Theolacor snags the courier. Doesn't get it with the items, but does find it before it turns into the flying courier.
I mean, at this point, they could use whatever advantages they can get for their mid laner.
Yeah, that's definitely pretty big. The fact that Invoker didn't die there was actually a huge win, because if he dies, then he misses out on like 2 full waves of experience, and he's just ridiculously far behind when already suffering in this matchup.
In terms of CS, seeing Lifestealers doing a great job here. 21 and 9, 17 and 3 on the Luna. They find themselves a Lion, though, here in this top lane, and he just can't get himself around the Igloo shards. Will get taken down.
It was a really nice block from the Tusk there. Lifestealer wasn't even able to get around.
Now, they haven't managed to take down the sentry here in mid just yet. They have the sentry over on there. Yep, they'll be able to find it right now. Bounty Hunter grabs himself a little snack as he cuts it down.
Yeah, it is nighttime though, so this is when Night Stalker will start maybe looking to apply some pressure either onto the Invoker or
doesn't
even
have
just
much
call
of
for help.
anything though.
Yeah, he'll probably call for some help to top lane if anything, because Lifestealer's getting too much.
Jump over onto mid though. They've got their eyes over here onto this Quap. They actually bring in the Jakiro to try to body block a little bit here. And it looks like Tusk is going to be able to save his Quap, although Bounty Hunter really just hungry for this Quap. She will make her way out though, and the both of them are just going to leave. They're not even going to bother to shrine. It's not quite time yet for it anyways. I mean, sometimes they wait a little bit and they'll try to farm up some camps, and that's clearly what Bounty Hunter thought that they were thinking about doing since he's standing up here on the high ground. But Night Stalker's still getting bullied here in lane. He's 1v1 versus the Lifestealer, but he can't really do too much with him. Does pick up the boots though, and they've got their eyes on Quap yet again here in mid. Bounty Hunter is going to be making the rotation here. Tusk coming in as well.
Yeah, I mean, mid lane is going to be where a lot of the action is, because I mean, Quap's going to need help to kill the Invoker because of how much the supports are there. Ooh, they find a...
You find the Lion. That's a very dead Lion. Hex comes out, tries to buy himself a little bit more time, but they'll turn themselves around. They do see the Bounty Hunter will be able to get the Lion instead. Quap on a killing spree now. And, well,
this is a lot of farm for the Invoker, though. Like, he's just been hitting creeps this whole time, chucking out a few spells here and there, but for the most part, just look happy to CS, get his levels. The supports being there is kind of a necessity, so he's not maybe as far ahead as he'd like to be, but he hasn't. He's only died the once, which, considering how many heroes have been sitting in his lane, is definitely a win.
Night Stalker looks like he's having a little bit of trouble with this Lifestealer here in the top lane. Bounty Hunter making the rotation just now. Don't have any creeps, so I'm not sure if they want to continue to keep diving on this. We'll back off. They do find themselves this Brewmaster putting out a fair amount of harass. Will block his way with the shards. Leposa having difficulty trying to get himself away. Will be able to go ahead and throw out the Drunken Haze over onto Tusk. He's going to miss a couple times. Snowball comes in though. That's a haste rune. If he can get that, he is scot-free. Yeah, he'll grab it. He gets ice packed up, but he's still going to be able to roll himself away. But the shards at the last second. Clean up.
Night Stalker is going to TP away?
Yes, he is.
Just barely. The Sunstrike was a little bit off the mark, unfortunately. That would have been a huge kill for the Invoker. How's the levels coming on Bounty? Still level 2, so a little bit behind what I think he'd like to be compared to the Tusk, who's already hit his level 4. Not able to find the same success in the early game. 5-1. I think the big win, though, is this off lane. Brewmaster's been able to mess with the Luna a lot, get his own levels. He's already almost level 6. And once that comes online, I think they can look to group around that with the Lifestealer inside.
Yeah, there's a jump forward over onto mid. Big Snowball is going to be able to throw out a Sunstrike, but it's not going to be able to save him. And there's the follow-up coming out from Jakiro. That's a nice Ice Path coming out. Shards will come out as well. Lion trying to get himself away is within the tower range, but Quap will be able to clean up with the Scream.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is one of the reasons that Invoker's kind of fallen out of meta. He's just so easy to abuse in the early game, and if you get shut down like he is, like they're committing 4 heroes to kill him, but they are killing him. They are shutting down his farm. So...
Ooh, Night Stalker, careful here, buddy. This Lifestealer is looking at you like you're a snack. Yeah, Open Wing has come out. Will be able to go fly himself around. There's a Sunstrike. Doesn't quite connect here, and I don't think Lifestealer really wants to take any more hits from this tower. It's just going to go back to hitting these creeps.
Lifestealer's top of CS, though. He's going to get the armlet.
Oh, there's a big jump coming in. They've got the Eclipse. They're going to jump over onto the Brewmaster, and they get a kill.
Oh, he was so close to his level 6. It's like 1 creep away from level 6, and then they can turn that around.
I'm sure they're keeping tabs on that, and they figure that he's going to be hitting that milestone fairly soon, so...
Theolicor's just had such a tough time trying to gank any of these lanes. He's had to invest a lot of his time protecting the Invoker, which isn't really what you want your Bounty Hunter doing. Only now just hitting his level 3. Maybe they look for kill on the Luna now that Eclipse is down.
No, they're looking for this Invoker, though. Jump forward. There's going to be the Cold Snap, followed up with the Sunstrike. Nice Ice Path again here. In comes the Tusk. The Husk, rather, the Hex comes out. They'll get the kill over onto Invoker, and Line's not long for this world either.
I mean, the one advantage for SG is that they're committing 4 heroes continually killing this Invoker, but like I said, they are killing him. They are shutting him down. He's still trying to get that Midas online. He's only got Boots and the Wand for right now. You know, he tries to grab himself the Raindrops, trying to keep alive, but can't quite do it. And I don't know if Lightstealer's going to be able to solo carry this, even if the Brewmaster's helping out with the team fight.
Bounty Hunter standing nearby here, keeping an eye out on whatever's going around. They did just place a sentry ward over here, so he needs to be very, very careful that he doesn't walk into that area. In fact, dodge around. They spot him out right now. Shards come out. Luna following up with that Lucent Beam. One more click will be able to do it, but they don't have the dust out. They do at the last second. They'll grab him. I thought he was going to get away there.
Yeah, Tusk, unfortunately, been prepared this whole time. He'll probably grab himself another stack. Yeah, already immediately buys the another stack of dust, and they're going to roll in on Invoker.
There's the roll. Yep, poor Invoker. He just cannot catch a break here. Does have the shards. Quap coming forward. Throws out the Shadow Strike. Will dodge the Sun Strike here as well, and get that final last hit over onto this poor Invoker. 5-0 and 3 currently on this Quap.
She's got her Tread, she's got the double null. Could go into the Veil of Discord, but more likely, yeah, she's just going to grab the Orchid. They're going to maybe look for kill on this Luna, though.
Yeah, they spot out, though. It looks like she's going to try to TP herself out. If they can get that Earth Spike, it's coming in at the last second. Line will be able to get that kill. That was a nice Infest Bomb coming out now that they finished up the Armlet over here. Quap still sees herself a Bounty Hunter, but unfortunately, they don't have the Sentry Ward vision any longer, so he's going to be able to just puff himself away into a cloud of smoke. And they'll turn their attention to the bottom lane.
And this is when Invoker starts getting his space. Now Costabile, you know, he's online, he's got his Armlet, he's got his Treads, he's ready to start fighting. We've got the Brew Split ready to go. And I mean, now they need to just make as much space as they can for the Invoker. He's got to play hard recovery. He's not going to be online for a very long time because of this early roam.
Do you see some harass coming out here onto this tower? They want to try to do some splitting, knowing that there are a lot of heroes down in the bot lane. Do you see the rotation coming out, though, now with the Brewmaster? Jump again over here onto this Invoker. He is just having a terrible, terrible game, especially with this Night Stalker, who's got the goo-goo eyes for him.
Anytime he shows himself in lane, that's exactly what's going to happen. They're just going to snowball into the jump, and because of the Bounty Hunter being there, they've always got the dust. So even if he goes for the Ghost Walk, it doesn't matter. They're just going to have the detection for him.
Speaking of detection, Night Stalker unfortunately doesn't have any for this this Bounty Hunter here. Bit of a fight about to break out top. Luna, she's got the Eclipse. She's hiding out here in the trees. They're going to be able to slow down this Brewmaster and follow up with those shards. In comes the Lucent Beam. In comes the Walrus Punch. And they'll actually go ahead, use that Eclipse to make sure he just cannot get the split off.
Yeah, really nice chain stunning there. He went for the split just the once.
They still want this Lion. He's trying so hard to juke around, but that final scream, like a homing beacon.
They just have so many chain stuns.
Homing missile. TP out here from the Lifestealer. Doesn't want to have to stick around near this Tusk any longer than he has to.
15-2 for Infamous right now. They are going to go for this Luna again, though. This is going to be, I think, the combo we're seeing a lot of.
I don't think she can be alone on the map ever, honestly, because this Bounty Hunter is just going to be searching for her. He's going to have a Lifestealer bomb whenever they can. And they've got, you know, pretty decent vision up, but they can't just keep putting sentry wards literally everywhere. It's just not efficient.
With the Tome online now, he's going to have his track. So this is when the game starts turning for SG. These next couple of engagements are going to be absolutely key because he has to get the track gold flowing. So make some space for the Invoker, get some gold online for the Lion so he can get a nice Blink Dagger timing. This is the key timing for SG. If SG gets kills in the next few minutes, they're back in the game. Otherwise, I think this is just going to be Infamous taking the game.
Oh, they have the dust. They spot the bounty hunter over here. They knew that he had just placed a ward as well. One more hit. Will she be able to do it? The shards come in. Oh, he's actually able to dodge them. It's one lucky little bounty hunter here trying to run himself away. Quap will be able to clean up. There's going to be a big snowball. Buying a little bit more time here. They're not going to be able to stop this line. Oh, never mind. They had the walrus punch. They'll stop him. They almost grab this life stealer as well. But he's just on the other side of those shards. He's going to make it out today.
Bounty Hunter was just sticking around there. The courier was coming with the tome. He was just hoping to maybe throw out the track before leaving, but unfortunately not quite able to make it. And it does look like actually, did they give the tome to the lion? Yeah, they gave the tome to the lion.
Oh, he's so close. Look at. It's a little more experience. He's gonna have that finger of death.
Invoker's got the Midas online now, so he's going to start his road to recovery, but it's going to be a long road.
Yeah. They've really shut down this poor Invoker. He's had 5 deaths just from the laning phase alone.
I mean, Lifestealer is sitting top of the net worth, though, so that's really SG's saving grace, is that Costabile plus Theolacourt together can still be very scary. But I mean, this Quap is definitely going to be the problem. She's going to have her Orchid soon, and Costabile and Theolacourt together aren't going to be enough. They need the Lion there in order to have the lockdown for this Queen of Pain.
She's just going to zip right by the Lion and the Brewmaster down here with the blink, and there's nothing that they really can do to stop her at this time. The TPs come out, though, over here in mid. They have their eyes over here on this Night Stalker. There's also the Jakiro and the Tusk that are going to go and just retreat, although Quap's in position. They might be able to turn this. Yeah, they're going to jump forward, immediately be able to throw out that snowball. Going to go for the shards. Big screen coming out here from the Quap. She looks for the ultimate. There's the Sonic Wave, and they're just going to try to fight, but that's 6 coming in handy. Going to be able to take down the Night Stalker by a little bit more time here, and now it's looking really scary for this Tusk. He tries to run himself out, but that's track gold. And this Life Stealer, oh, 40 hit points. Man, by the skin of his teeth.
I was so close for Infamous, but I don't think they got the track on the Life Stealer. Or sorry, not on the Life Stealer, on the Night Stalker, but they definitely got it on the Tusk before he died. So this is going to be already a 1,500 net worth swing in the favor of SG. This is when things start getting very scary for Infamous. If they start bleeding kills now, this game is easily recoverable for SG.
Orchid's about to be online for Quap, which will be a pretty big reveal here. But I think one of the things that they've really started to realize is that they really tunnel vision hard on this Invoker. So I feel like they're punishing that pretty hard now that they have sensed the trend, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, Invoker is the easiest to gank hero that SG has, right? Life Stealer, he has Feast, he's got Open Wounds, now he's got his Armlet. It's very tough to gank him. Brewmaster has the mischance plus Primal Split. You have to, you know.
Oh no, I think you just carry Dust, and I think the Bounty Hunter is probably the easiest one to kick down. But I understand what you mean by that.
Easiest of the cores.
Of the cores. All right, all right. Night Stalker needs to be a little bit careful here because there is a lion standing nearby. They'll be able to crab them both, though, here into the shards. Bit of toggling coming out. The rage comes out, but it doesn't matter. Quap is just on fire right now. Will be able to get herself a double kill. 10-0 and 3 right now on Queen of Pain.
Yeah, that was the Orchid reveal, which was huge. They opened up with the Night Stalker silence, followed up very quickly with the Orchid. I think a little bit too much silence for the Life Stealer to really expect it. He tries to hop inside the creep. But man, Infamous is just running away with this game. And Theolacourt has not been able to get off the ganks that he's needed to.
It's casual Luna illusions cutting the wave down here. Where is Luna? Luna. There she is. She's just farming away here.
Farming agent. She's going to have her Manta style online soon. But I think the real problem is this Queen of Pain. She's going to have Yules to deal with whatever it is that she feels like dealing with. Whether that be the silence coming out from... I mean, there's not really any easy Orchid builders. I'm not sure why she's grabbing the Yules. Another way to break TPs, I guess, is what she's worried about.
Bounty Hunter just constantly keeping tabs over here on this Luna, checking the jungle to see what people have for items, and...
Has to be careful, though. They've got the Sentry Ward, so if he tries to sap XP too closely,
There's the
is gonna be
Infest
there.
Bomb. They're looking. They found themselves a Luna over here. This is looking real scary. Yeah, she gets the Eclipse off, but it doesn't matter. Just too much damage being thrown at her.
Unfortunately, no track.
Oh, in comes the Quap, though. She's got her eyes over here onto this Brewmaster. Can they get this in time? He's not going to be able to TP. They will be able to get it. The Macro Pyre, though, they're just kind of all taking a bath in it as they retreat, and they've still got their eyes over here on this Bounty Hunter. They don't really want to let him get away, but instead they'll trap a Lifestealer, which I don't think is what they were looking for, but they'll still clean up, get the Bounty Hunter before he can pop the Shrine, and now Lifestealer gonna actually just walk himself forward, sees that there's a Tusk here. Tusk, he's got a TP if he wants to try to get out. Doesn't look like his teammates are going to come and help him, though. Shards come out, and he will get taken down. Quap, though, finds herself a kill on the Lion.
Support for support. I mean, all in all, that's pretty good trade for SG. Slightly, actually. Man, this Quap's just getting so much gold.
She's getting so big. She's so scary.
They really need to... They're keeping the Luna down, though, which is kind of nice, but Invoker still has to play catch-up. He doesn't have his eggs yet. Still a few hundred gold away from him, and even once he gets the eggs, I think he needs one more item before he can start showing up to fights.
This Luna needs a BKB.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to go for the Manta style first, I think.
Oh, no, now she's going for what appears to be a Hurricane Pike, which is good, though. You know, you don't want to have to deal with the Lifestealer in close quarters. Being able to kite him away is pretty good. But I do think the BKB is very important with the amount of lockdown that's coming out from the side of SG here.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing, I think, is that we haven't really seen a brew split yet. That's the big problem for SG.
Oh, boy. Night Stalker has found himself in the middle of a pretty scary situation. Almost manages to TP himself out, but not quite. Tusk's gonna have to just run himself away. He's tried his best. He threw out some shards, but not gonna be enough to help his bro out here.
Man, how is track even balanced? One kill is worth 700 gold for the side of SG. Like, that's absolutely insane. Invoker does have his Aghanims online. Is going to go for the Force Staff next, so he doesn't have to worry about the Shards Trap anymore. Going to help a little bit as well with the Queen of Pain.
Yeah, mobility is definitely king in these games, yeah. Being able to dodge around, and whether you're kiting a Lifestealer, dodging shards, or whatnot.
Theodore is going to find the Luna, but she pops the Manta, and he just...
I mean, she's got a double damage right now. That's pretty scary. They do have the rest of the team smoked up over here. They've got a Lifestealer bomb, but they don't know where the rest of the team is. I think that's the issue. They don't know where that Quap is right now. And they still point out, oh, they'll find themselves a Night Stalker, and look how fast Luna just runs away. She says, yeah, nope, nope. They use the split as well, and now they're just going to use everything in the kitchen sink over onto this Jakiro. More track gold getting used. Luna needs to be so careful. This Water Panda's found themselves a Luna. We'll be able to throw her up into the tornado here. By little time, immediately, though, Quap shows up. She's going to be able to try to defend here. Will turn themselves around. They get the Orchid off over onto Lifestealer, and they'll get the Eclipse off as well. This could be very, very bad for him. He's actually going to get taken down. No more split available, though, over onto this Brewmaster. They pop over into the Snowball, and they're buying so much time right now. Big track kills could be coming out here if they can get them, but the blink from the Quap will be able to save them. Bounty Hunter still keeping tabs over onto the Tusk. Should be able to run himself out, and they'll throw a fresh track over.
All in all, pretty good trades for SG. They're finding the kills onto the Luna still. They're getting kills on Invoker now.
Now they're, yep. Oh, the Snowball, again, buys them a little bit of time, but still gets the kill on the Brewmaster, and now Tusk will get taken down.
Yeah.
This fight is still going on, Forge. They're still chasing after. Orchid comes out over onto the Lion. They'll get the cleanup on that. Quap coming forward again. She wants to see if she can get the kill over onto Bounty Hunter. They don't have the detection quite yet, so I think he's going to be able to get himself out. Yeah, that dust didn't actually connect on him. That is a lucky Bounty Hunter.
He's got to earn, though. He's ticking down to the dagger.
No, I think he's going to be okay.
Just barely. That earn saving his life. But Invoker now feeling comfortable getting involved in these fights. Snagged off the Luna, I think, with the Sunstrike was really big for him because he wasn't there yet. So I think he gets the track gold, but he definitely gets the experience. And he's going to start making his road to recovery.
I mean, that's one thing that we've seen consistently coming out from the side of SGE is that they can get shut down in lane, but they're pretty good at bouncing back in a lot of these situations.
Yeah, their team fight is very, very strong. I think it's the one thing that they have over Infamous. It's just their team fight coordination. Both of these games, or I guess I should say all three of these games, have been very, very well done.
Quap actually has herself a Lincoln Sphere as well now, so she's going to be able to avoid the immediate lockdown coming out in the form of Lion. with his Earthspike or Hex or whatnot. They do spot themselves the Bounty Hunter. Again, Jakiro going to be able to join up, throws out an Ice Path, and they're going to back off, though. They realize that they've poked maybe just a little bit too much. There's the Lifestealer, gets the Orchid placed on him, and they're just going to walk away from this engagement. Lots of tracks being used, though. Would like to see maybe a Yules to get the track off.
I think that's maybe what she was aiming for on the Queen of Pain earlier with the Yules, but now she's got the Lincoln Sphere. The track does mean that they still have potential to get the Blink initiation from the Lion. He's pretty close to his Blink Dagger, so they could very easily pop the Lincolns with the track and then follow up with the Blink Hex. But I don't know. Queen of Pain is... I don't think she's died yet. Yeah, she's still 15-0-3.
Papita, please.
This is a tough game for SG to recover from. Invoker's still so far behind, man. Still
again, like
3,
we said, though, with SG, you know, it's one of those teams that they have a difficult time during laning phase. He could easily recover like he did in the Tinker game.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I feel like you say that to me so much.
Well, you know, Moxie...
Like, good point, Moxie. You know, you're not wrong.
When you say things that are smart, I feel like I need to tell you that you did a smart
I feel like you're expecting me to say something ridiculous, though. Aegis gets picked up, though, over onto this Luna. And she's actually not even going to bother going for a BKB here. The next thing queued up is going to be that Butterfly.
Makes a little bit of sense, I guess. A lot of the damage coming out is still, you know, mostly on the Lifestealer. The Invoker hasn't been able to join the fights too much. So worried more about mitigating the Lifestealer's damage as opposed to the Invoker's contribution. She's getting her Eclipses off, and she's really just kind of soaking up the damage so that Queen of Pain can go around and get what she's done.
Oh, she's been very mobile, just poking and prodding during all these fights.
Luna's been kind of the gank soaker for this match, and it's been
gank
Queen of
soaker. What a term.
Well, she's been the one that's been running around and
tanking
trying
the
to get
ganks.
farm. Yeah, tanking the ganks, right?
Right.
Whereas the Queen of Pain has been doing whatever it is that she wants and staying alive in these fights. So if she can soak more damage and make them waste more stuff on her, but keep the Queen of Pain alive, I think that's just fine with Infamous.
Well, I think this Lincoln's is definitely helping the Quap stay alive as well. You know, not going to be able to just lock her down as easily as you might like, and she's able to blink herself out of bad situations, fix her positioning, because again, positioning is just so absolutely key here. There is a Lion over here, though. Does have a Lifestealer bomb. This could be a big kill if they can get it, but she will be able to force themselves forward, get away from this potential gank, and now who is the tank ganker here? Looks like she's going to be able to get herself yet another kill over onto the line. They get this hit over onto the Lifestealer. Oh dear, that is not what they wanted to get out of that particular gank.
No, I think they needed the Brewmaster there in order to try and take that fight, but I don't think they expected the whole of Infamous there. Yeah, Lion's like, okay, sure. I think they got to let this tower go. Just defend their high ground.
No, they have to go high ground. Absolutely. They can't, especially with the Aegis. Who has cheese? Did they already use it? Squap had cheese?
No, there was no cheese. That was first rush.
Oh, sorry, yeah. They just run at each other constantly. Big Walrus Punch getting thrown out, though, here. Nice Ice Path into Macro Pyre. This is a dead Invoker unless he can get himself out. Yeah, he'll actually make use of that Force Staff. Pull himself away. This Luna goes ahead. She pops out the Manta Style. Will go turning her attention to these racks right now. Sunstrike going to come in and will land over onto Luna. She doesn't care. She's got that Aegis. She's feeling really strong right now. We'll be able to take down one of the Luna Illusions using the Mana Drain, but they're pretty satisfied. They broke high ground, and I've got the idea that they're probably looking towards middle and maybe Shrines next. In fact, Quap wasn't with them during all that. Let that sink in.
Yeah, that was, I mean, 12K net worth lead at 27 minutes. Infamous, I think, taking their early game advantage and just running away with it. This Invoker's been absolutely decimated. He's trying to get the bots online, but I don't think that's the answer. I think he needs that BKB ASAP because...
Ooh, Tusk.
Got the Shivas online now.
Looks like Tusk was in for a little bit of trouble here. Does pop the Lotus Orb, though. Turns himself around. He's going to get hexed up. Lifestealer's got his eyes over here on this Tusk. Will be able to take him down despite the Lincolns being thrown out by the Quap for a little more protection here. And looks like we're going to see some movement on this middle tier 1.
1,000 gold for a Tusk kill, Moxie.
I mean, he's one snuggly polar bear.
You're not wrong.
There it is again. I deserved that one. I deserved that one.
You did deserve that one. It's the Canadian in me, Moxie. I'm just always trying to be
just
positive.
Always nice.
I'm just always trying to be positive.
Right.
BKB does get picked up on Brewmaster now, though, so he's going to be able to more securely get off his split. I think that's been one of the reasons they've been afraid to group up as 5 before now. And Invoker's going to move towards his own. Has the Boots of Travel now to try and kind of apply pressure around the map. But speaking of pressure around the map, that's a Luna. Doesn't get too much damage on the tower, but does force 2 TPs back.
Again, we know Infamous like to find any opening that they can and start putting pressure on towers. So if a big team fight breaks out, in fact, never mind, that's a very dead bounty hunter. But if a big team fight breaks out and one person has the opportunity to put a ton of damage into like the base or buildings, we've just seen some random body blocking here coming out from the Screep with the taunt. Style points, I guess. The Lincoln will get popped though immediately from the Lion. Needs to be careful though that oh, there's a jump forward though coming out from Brewmaster. He's got himself a lifestealer bomb. There's a big tornado though coming in. We'll be able to put a lot of damage over onto Jakiro. And now it looks like Night Stalker, he's going to try to run himself back. Beautiful ice path coming in. They'll be able to take down the lifestealer. And there's a jump forward coming out from Pepita here. He's got his eyes over onto the line. They get the kill. Lifestealer going to buy himself back here. They want to defend this tower. They don't have any creeps right now in the base, so they're not getting as much damage in as they might like. They've got their eyes over onto the Tusk, but there's the Orchid again, followed with the Lunar Eclipse, a big sonic wave. And that's a dieback now on Lifestealer.
I think that's just GG, to be honest with you. This is very difficult hold. It's probably going to be the full Mega Creeps.
I mean, it's not over till it's over, but it's looking pretty spooky right now. Yeah, they actually aren't even going to bother going for Mega Creeps. They do call the GG. So, yeah, all right. Infamous coming back against SG.
As much as they love the hero, it's one of the reasons that Invoker's not really in the meta anymore. It's just so incredibly easy to abuse in lane. And despite, you know, giving the Lifestealer all of the space in the world, once Quap picks up the Orchid, he just can't do anything. They open with the Night Stalker Silence, follow with the Quap Orchid, and he just melts.
Dude, the power of Papita and just this Quap, 19-0 and 5, just ran amok, ran all over SG. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, we've had some really exciting games so far. We're only on game number 3, and I am so looking forward to seeing this go to a full 5 games, hopefully. So we'll be back with game number 4. Stick around.